because China's a very secular country, right? It's not particularly religious, right?
Yeah.
So my question for you is casual sex a pretty big thing in China?
Okay.
Or is it more, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I think it's not like for sex, this topic in China is not like that open than here. You know, like people talk about sex like pretty normal, like they don't care about this topic. But like in China, people do. I mean, like this generation is getting better, but back to my parents and like older generations, they do like avoid sex, this topic. And I don't know, like I think casual sex is definitely a big thing, but people just don't put this topic on the table. You know, they don't share this kind of thing. Like,
where do you think that comes from in China?
Because I honestly, like, I grew up in China and I just here for like college.
Because to add to that, people often say it's religion that is the catalyst to that, right? And
no, it's not because of like religious reasons.
Right, because China's not a religious country. So what do you think that comes from then?
I just think like the lack of sex education. This is I think is a real big problem in China. And so people, I don't know, people are ashamed when they talk about sex, this topic. So like their children are educated in a way like, oh, don't talk sex in public. It's like a shame topic, whatever. Yeah.
Is it also true about the whole thing where you're limited how many children you can have in China? Is that still a thing? Or has that ever been a thing?
It's not a thing anymore. Like government are encouraging.
Do you think that plays a role into it?
No, I don't think so. I just think like the overall like sex education level is not enough. So people are like avoiding this topic. So, but I do think like casual sex is a thing, but people just don't put it on the table, like talk about it in a podcast. Obviously.
Is virginity something that's valued in China in the same way it is, like, for example, in other countries or in the U.S.? At least amongst in religious circles.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think after 2020s, like after we enter like 21st century, people are caring less about virginity. But I do think there's a like a big part of guys, they do care about virginity. Yeah.
I'm curious about this when it comes to dating in China. So I'm trying to think. So is it looked down upon in China to date outside of your race? Like, say there's like a white guy in China.
My boyfriend is white.
But so you're in the U.S. right now, but if you were like in China, do you think would people look down on you for dating outside of your race, or they don't really care?
Okay, like I don't know, like I think there's a group of this kind of people in every country, like they just being disrespectful, but I don't know. I don't think people will like look down on you if you date people like they're white, black, or anything.
To add on to that, I think and again, I'm not from China. This is just based on my observations.
You're not?
I've seen a lot of clips of black people in China, and they're just like obsessed with them. They want to touch their hair. They want to take pictures of them, and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's almost there's novelty in a foreign partner.
Yeah.
Would you say that's true?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely novelty here, and I think the big reason is because America is like an immigration country. There are all different races of people. So you're like grow up, you do see all those different races people like around you. So you're kind of like getting used to it. But in China, it's I don't know, like it's just basically one race, or I don't know, like 99% people look similar. Like we're all in one race. So it's probably like pretty novel when you're dating like, you know, like a black, white, any other people out of your race. Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay, sorry guys, we are a little behind on super chats. We're going to do some super chats.